The past couple years have been challenging for the restaurant industry, especially the full-service dining sector. In 2024, Texas Roadhouse became the biggest casual dining restaurant, surpassing Olive Garden, who held the top spot since 2018. Between 2019 and 2024, the two companies' sales are up over 55% and over 80%.
What if I told you some of America's most popular restaurants are quietly serving meals that could push your sodium intake past 3,000 milligrams in a single sitting? That's more than an entire day's worth, hidden inside dishes that are marketed as homestyle or fresh. For anyone over 50, that kind of overload isn't just unhealthy, it's a direct threat to your heart, blood pressure, and long-term resilience. Today, we'll expose which chains are guilty of this and why the food on your plate might not be what you think it is. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. What if the restaurant that claims to serve homemade comfort food is actually passing you reheated frozen dishes and sodium-packed meals powerful enough to undercut your health?
Cracker Barrel is sticking with its Southern comfort roots, scrapping new design plans and announcing the old country store look is here to stay. Announcing Tuesday it was suspending all remodels after swift online backlash from customers.
Become sort of a symbol of this old-time Americana.
Cracker Barrel tested a more modern and bright design at 4 of its 660 locations, but quickly found customers preferred nostalgia over a modern new look.
The sign outside may promise a friendly kitchen. The menu might call it homestyle, but behind the doors it can be a very different story. Image plays a stronger role than quality. Instead of fixing plates made from scratch, many chain kitchens rely on pre-cooked entrees, pre-portioned vegetables, and warming drawers that hold food until an order is placed. The customer believes they are getting country-style comfort or fresh-off-the-grill flavor. Yet what arrives on the plate is often the result of assembly and reheating rather than cooking in the traditional sense. This is how major restaurants use marketing to win trust. Words like grilled, scratched, and fresh shape an image that appeals to families, especially older diners who search for meals resembling the ones they grew up with. The menus are carefully written to disguise the shortcuts. The grilled item often never touches fire. The biscuits meant to remind you of a farmhouse kitchen can be shipped frozen from a facility hundreds of miles away. To the diner, the dish may look convincing. To the kitchen staff, it is a simple matter of unwrapping, placing into a heater, or pressing microwave buttons. The effect is subtle but powerful. A plate of ribs or a platter of mashed potatoes seems harmless, comforting, even nostalgic. But under the surface, sodium-heavy seasonings, preservatives, and processed bases turn a single meal into a hidden threat. And for people over 50, those threats carry more weight. Aging means arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises faster, and the kidneys process salt less effectively. So what looks like comfort food can, in reality, be a slow drain on resilience.
So what's driving consumers to these steakhouses, and what makes them a standout in the restaurant sector?
Value steakhouses exist in kind of the sweet spot where it's tough to replicate the experience. I think that's why you've seen Roadhouse and Longhorn deliver trends that are, above what the industry's seeing.
Texas Roadhouse and Longhorn Steakhouse parent company Darden Restaurants have significantly outperformed the S&P over the past 5 years. Darden Restaurants owns a number of chains besides Longhorn.
Take Chili's, for example. The sizzling skillet has long been a trademark. When a server walks through the dining room carrying a steak that hisses and smokes, diners see freshness, the drama of a grill just seconds ago. The reality is often a steak pre-cooked earlier, stored in trays, then reheated and placed on a hot pan to fake that fresh-off-the-grill sound. That performance sells the illusion. Even worse, the ribs and fiesta platters can stack sodium levels well past 2,000 milligrams in one order. That is already the recommended maximum for an entire day, and it is landing in a single entree. When that sodium surges through the bloodstream of a 55-year-old diner, blood pressure spikes, pulse pressure rises. For someone already living with hypertension, the impact can last long past dessert. Cracker Barrel builds a different story. The porch with rocking chairs, wooden walls, and the image of a family kitchen caters to pure nostalgia. Guests sit down expecting the taste of a Sunday table passed down for generations. Yet many staples, the biscuits, mashed potatoes, gravy, arrive in boxes or frozen packs. The vegetables that should come from the garden often taste limp, canned, and lacking nutrients recovered from freshness. For an older customer, the disappointment is not just in taste. Canned or frozen options are often high in salt preservatives, and warmer drawers that hold food can slip in sanitation. Seniors are already more vulnerable to foodborne illness due to a slower immune response. One lapse in temperature control behind the kitchen doors can mean bacteria taking hold in mashed potatoes or gravy before it is scooped onto the plate. That threat is hidden beneath a farmhouse decoration scheme that convinces the mind, but not the body.
We do expect Texas Roadhouse to deliver trends that are above the industry. 12 months, we have an equal weight rating on Darden and would expect the stock to perform kind of in line, but already trades at a higher valuation than the rest of the industry.
Applebee's represents another side of the same problem. Here, the kitchens rely heavily on microwaves. A dip that looks creamy on the menu often arrives half-thawed, with hot and cold patches in the same bowl. Chicken entrees that should represent a lean option for travelers or families can hold more than 3,000 milligrams of sodium, well beyond what an older adult should be handling. In these cases, the issue is not just blood pressure. Too much salt combined with preservatives slows recovery from illnesses, stresses the kidneys, and dehydrates the body faster. At an age when hydration and mineral balance are already harder to maintain, the damage accumulates quickly. On the surface, these meals appear ordinary. They are plated to look safe, even welcoming. Yet the salt levels equal 2 days of recommendations. The meats arrive with preservatives built in, and foods often pass through conditions that raise sanitation questions. That combination is not simply mediocre preparation. It is a hidden strike against health that grows more damaging the older you get. If these restaurants cannot be trusted to deliver true freshness or safe practices, the bigger question becomes clear. What does that mean for long-term health and resilience once the body has crossed 50? The real battlefield for health isn't in a faraway place. It begins on your plate, in the choices made inside restaurants that look safe but aren't. For anyone past 50, each hidden load of sodium, every overprocessed ingredient, and each lapse in food safety is an enemy working silently against you. The answer is to step away from these chains, seek meals prepared fresh, and protect yourself deliberately. Think of your body as a ship built for endurance. One unchecked weakness in the hull can bring it down. Guard every choice because resilience depends on disciplined protection.